Your show will go live in 5 seconds. Four, three, two, one. Blog Talk Radio.
All right, it's time we gonna do it. What the fuck? Oh man, you know what? I really fucked up. But anyway, let me see how I'm gonna do this. Fuck it, I'm gonna just go. All right, hey, check it out. I don't know how I fucked up and made this only for 15 minutes on Blog Talk, but I guess I could keep going on StreamYard. But you won't be able to call in past 15 minutes. Oh, shit, man. This is not gonna work. You know what I need to do, fellas? I need to set up all over again. Because I like my shit. Never mind. I'm gonna just keep going. Fuck it. You ain't gonna be able to call in. You know what? Let me see. Let me see if I can change this while it's. No, I can't. Because it's studio settings upgrade. Create. No, I can't change that shit. Alright, fellas, we just gonna keep rolling and fuck it. It is what it is. Hey, check it out. I am sure you guys can feel things changing. There's no way you cannot feel the change that's taking place in this goddamn country. Everything is changing. And the only way you are going to be able to survive is to have a plan. And the plan has to be centered around you. I'm telling you, you're not going to be able to count on nothing you're counting on now. Now, okay, I could be over exaggerating maybe, but who knows what's going to work and what's not going to work. I mean, I sure is, excuse me, man, let me get some water because this shit is real, man. You see I'm hiccuping already. Yeah, there you go. Thanks. This shit is real. And what I'm saying is, when I'm fucking with abroad, I bring the truth. And what I'm saying is, if you listen to that last video I made a couple of minutes before I made it, I had some words with this bitch living here. She pissed me off. Now, what I'm saying is, I'm gonna bring the truth. And then, you know, I got the trip and call a motherfucker a bitch and shit. No, I ain't no damn bitch. I just ain't gonna be no bitch for a motherfucker. Okay, bitch. Whatever. What I'm saying, I believe if she stays around after dealing with the worst of me, because I do bring out the worst of me in the first few months, I am going to be a monster. But if she could deal with the, you know, worst of me, it's going to be a piece of cake to deal with the, you know, pleasant me. That's how I think. And I know it's not absolutely right, but that's how I think. But even in what I'm saying, since then, that was like 2 days ago, I can feel the change. I'm saying, I just can't help myself. I go hard all day long. I mean, some can't stand it because of the pace. It's a constant or a continuous fast pace. You know, many times as I, you know, keep grinding, trying to get what I want, because I don't believe what I want is going to come to me. I believe I have to discover what I want and then go get it. Sidewalk University is a monster. And I realized a fact of life. If you want something, you gotta stay on the grind for it. At SWU, the go-getters, you guys shouldn't sleep on SWU because I'm telling you, what it teaches you is so valuable. It's not survival, because I watched that dual survival type shit, and there's two dudes out get dropped off in the desert somewhere, and they gotta survive for 72 hours. Man, of course, I don't want to be that extreme, but that's where I'm coming from. If you can't stand it, you're gonna die. So, I got a couple of fucking fragrances. Remember, I got them. Don't sleep on them. A bitter dose for her and a bitter dose for him. You guys get those motherfuckers. I got gear. This month, October is almost over, and it spells the end of the goddamn 2-for-1 sale. And it's always a success when I have one, but what's significant about this one is it will be the last one. There's not going to be another one. There's just not going to be another one. And you better understand what that means to you. But what's even more is that the sales that these videos I bring are really important. That's but that is a very important part of doing the videos, because it keeps you up on what I'm thinking and what we're doing. I'm graced and I'm blessed to have met up with the real men, when I, set foot in Hollywood. I was lucky. I could have, met the dreamers. I could have met the drug users. I could have met all kind of guys. But I fucking met the real motherfuckers. Shantae, my dog since the 70s, has always been real with me. Now, me and that nigga then fell out several times. But that dog in me and that dog in him, that dog in each of us, has always outlasted the bullshit. No matter what the bullshit is, no matter what brought it, it was outlasted because we was real. That nigga, my partner. Ain't nothing you can tell that nigga to make me or make him fall out with me. And same with me. You can't tell me shit to make me fall out with him. But there's some shit that we can experience, dealing with each other that can make us fall out, even now. But what I'm saying is, so what? Brothers fall out. Brother and sister fall out. I mean, family fall out. But they don't never quit not never. Most times they don't quit each other. So to me, I think I'm fortunate because I have lived a long and very fruitful life. And to me, I mean, I just also realized my golden years are, creeping up on me. They're approaching. When I was younger, I thought about the shit, and I thought about how I would want to live. I want to, work, and then when I get old, vacation and then work when I get old. The second one is kind of backwards, but that's what I chose. I thought about if I should work and wait for retirement to travel, and see the country, maybe the world, or should I travel while I was young and dedicate my golden years to working? And like I said, I decided to do the opposite of the way most people think. For me, Traveling while I was a young man is what made the years I have left golden. Now, this was no accident. The remaining years I have were made golden by me being a truly dedicated man, a man of great character, a man of integrity, a top flight street player, and a gracious human being. Now, I've grown to be a person willing to learn whatever it takes to make progress in my life. I don't understand why you can't see that. Not in me, but for you. Why can't you be willing to do anything that's going to make progress in your life? I promise myself to adhere to the notion, each one teach one. That means if you're a monster, teach another motherfucker how to be a monster. None of my being a monster, a type flight player, or any of that is important to you. But my being Rosebud, the motherfucking pimp, and you knowing that I done retired and doing some other shit, I'm sure, man, that's of interest to a lot of you guys. Why the fuck did he leave that? And what makes it interesting is the why. Why? Why has had, or the idea, the thought of why has had an allure to it since the beginning of time. Scholarly people, scholarly men, scholarly women have always seen why as a topic to debate or to discuss and theorize about. Am I speaking of how good of a person I am or the changes that I'm making? Most likely means nothing to you. But I'll bet my last dollar that a lot of you want to know why I retired. Most of you won't accept it's really true. And I'm sure a lot of that is because I talk so much goddamn shit. And you just can't really believe I'm retired. But I am retired. From my earliest memories, for some reason, I've always wanted to be important. I just did not want to be a regular guy. For me, being the center of attention, which I always was, just wasn't enough. I had to be special in my own way. And I don't mean I wanted treatment any other than I deserved, because I knew I would deserve special. I've always been a standout in sports, and it's just about anything I pursued. And I was always in the higher echelon of whatever that was. I grew up, and this is really important, fellas. I grew up competing at every point. And I grew up losing to all my brothers.
90 seconds.
See, that's what I'm saying. This motherfucking is going to cut off, man. So we ain't really worried about that. We going to keep rolling on fucking StreamYard. As a matter of fact, I'm going to just end this right now because y'all ain't calling me in. I'm going to end this one, and then I'm going to go to StreamYard.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye, bitch. Yeah, so what I'm saying is I wanted to be a well-known person. Now, I didn't especially want to be an entertainer or some kind of motherfucking political figure, but that would work. But that's not really what I wanted. And I did have a great thirst to be an important person from a very young age. And I don't really know where that thirst began, but if anyone influenced me in that way, it was my dad. My dad was a motherfucker. I'm telling you, the women, he had women. And they would say, you Brad Dixon, boy. The way they were saying, you would know they knew way more about my dad than we did. You know, he had a lot to do with how the city survived, the black part of the city. And that shit rubbed off on me. He actually, like I say, he wasn't a politician. But I'm telling you, didn't nothing get done in the crest without my pops, not okay, but being in on whatever it was. Because all the meetings was held at our house. And he just was a well-connected but low-key motherfucking brother. I didn't like the low-key part of it, you know, but that was him. I want to be like him, but I want to be high, whatever key. I want to be really noticed for it. Now, this could be bad on my part. I'm not saying this is what you should want. But me, I'm one of them kind of dudes. My dad was an electronic. And, you know, he worked when you had tubes and all this shit, being TVs and all that goddamn shit. Where now you got circuits and blah, blah, blah. But he wasn't no fucking politician. You know, he never ran for no office, but I'm telling you, all the major players of the cities fuck with my pops. From the mayor to the police chief down to the city councilman. All them motherfuckers fuck with my pops. And they would seek out his advice on different things because he kind of, I just thought of this, but he kind of was the voice for the lower class black people. And he was the kind of dude that cared, but he acted like he didn't care. Sort of like me. Now, as far as being low key, my pops was low key, but when it came time for something important, they called on him. And I think it's because he did a lot of critical thinking early on, and it became a part of him. And he would think things through, and when they would ask him shit, his answer would be part of some answers he already have. I think I picked that shit up. When my dad passed, I'm telling you, the Mason stood guard over him for 72 straight hours. He was like buried with a gang of honors from that group of men because his respect was earned the old-fashioned way. He fucking worked for it. He worked for it. So what I'm saying is I believe in the ethic that was represented by my dad. And what I'm saying is, even though I'm 68, I can see it manifesting in what I do. My pop still got an influence on me. He knew what the fuck I did. But I'm a respectful son. And in all aspects, I'm respectful to my parents. And I never flossed or acknowledged that I was a pimp to either of them. I remember when I bought that Rolls Royce, I was very proud. I was proud. I bought the car and got on the highway, went to Vallejo. I rode to Vallejo and went to my parents' home. And, you know, to pay them a quick visit. I'm really going to San Francisco. My pops, when I pull up, my pops is in, you know, his normal attire, some fucking overalls and his fucking scriggly hat. And but he was working in the front yard as usual. So I jump out the car. I never fronted, you know, pimp shit in front of my parents. But what I'm saying is, I get out the car. Now, I may have seen them in the past with one broad, a girlfriend, they think. But this was my hoe. But we never acted like that. This particular time, I got 4 white girls with me. So I ran up to Pops and shook his hand and shit, and I went in to kiss my mom. When I came back out, I was smiling. And I told Pops, my accomplishment. I had bought that Rolls Royce, cash, dollars. I had the pink slip. And my Pops put his foot on the shovel and said, I'm serious. My dad said this to me. He said, boy, you really think you doing something, don't you? I reached in my back pocket and I pulled that motherfucking pink slip out of my wallet to emphasize, I think I'm doing something. I showed that shit to my dad and he chuckled and he started walking towards the backyard. So, I looked at him and I followed him. And then he told me something that just let me see why I am such a motherfucker. Pop say, boy, I seen a time when it took me 30 days of 1 month and 15 days of the next month just for me to see all my women. He walked further into the backyard. And then he stopped, turned, and just walked toward me and said, he was smiling. And then he said, I kid you not. He grabbed my hand and he started examining my motherfucking rings and shit. And, and when I got in the car to leave, before I got in, I introduced my dad to these hoes. And he didn't even acknowledge them. He just ignored them. Then I got in the car and backed out and put that motherfucking Rolls Royce in the drive. And my dad said, I'm telling you, I could have fucked them 4 broads for 2 days in a row. I was so stoked. My goddamn dad gave me his approval for one of the only times in my life that I can remember that he gave me his approval. But I was pulling off and I heard my dad say, do it, boy. Let me tell you, I was stoked to hear that shit. Because we would have did anything to give approval. Because my parents didn't give you approval. You always was fucking up. There's something you can be doing better. And that's just how I grew up. A likable personality in a man is determined very quickly by a woman. And I'm telling you, if you got some trip about growing up or the things you did coming up or had to do coming up, she gonna not know that's what your problem is, but she can see you got a problem. That's why I asked from the beginning, can't you fucking see improvement? Don't you feel the changes? There's changes. And I'm talking to dudes all the time that are changing. And these motherfuckers are fucking loving it. To me, I think it took me over. I'm telling you, I'm not lying. When I want to do something, I'm going to do it. But I think it took me over 17 hours to edit my course. And I edited it down to 4.5 hours. And that's because people's attention span is not very long. But what I'm saying is I'm dedicated to doing the right thing and learning about what the fuck I'm getting into. I mean, I just can't half-ass do some shit. And I was blessed to get all the equipment and the software that I needed to make major moves, but I didn't even know how to make them. I was also blessed to meet someone at the right time. I mean, it was several of these guys: Jimmy Bones, Trey Lavish. I was Steve the Dean. I mean, I met a lot of these guys at the right time, and I learned. And I learned all that goddamn shit, and I got to where I could do big things with what I learned. My course, I wanted to go record it professionally, and it was gonna cost me, I think, 10 grand. It didn't cost me $2,000 to do what I did, so I saved 8 racks. But because I took it upon myself to learn what they was gonna do, and I was scared of the shit, but I did it. No matter what you doing, take the next step and quit bullshit. Is what I'm trying to say. Can't you see? I just cannot understand why you don't see. I don't stay in the same position. I'm progressing. It could be a very small progression, but I'm progressing. That's what it's about. It's not about you have a dream. It's about you had a dream and you made it a reality. That's what it's about. So it's been a while. Shit. But I told you, motherfucker, I was leaving that social media shit alone. I mean, I've outgrown that Facebook bullshit. Facebook was really good to me. It was a good tool for me to grow in areas that I didn't really know. But my school is now making it on its own. And I'm driving. So my point is, here and there I may post something on Facebook, and here and there I may post something on this Twitter or whatever. And I would imagine if I did it more, I would probably have more students. But then to me, I would have more motherfuckers that's going to drop out anyway. I don't need that. I do it the way I do it because the motherfuckers got to find me. And when they find me, they want to do it. So I wanted a business when I started dealing with Facebook, which is, how it is now. I have a business. My books are selling mediocrely, but they're selling. And my MP3s, my tools, everything that I have done, my confidence courses, all this shit, it's all selling. So I am not set. But that should say something to you about me. You have watched me grow. You have watched me go to and graduate from a higher education institution with 2 degrees. You have seen me make 2 documentaries, The Gospel of the Game and The Real Film Slim. You have watched me complete 15 novels, actually 19 novels. I've published 9 of them. And yes, I am a conceited and selfish motherfucker, and I suggest you get some of what I'm on. This shit is not bragging. It's to show how any one of you motherfuckers can make moves if you wanted to. I am no fucking different than you. So, my fellow Americans, what's in your wallet? I mean, really, what's on your menu? I have a menu. In your quest for greatness, those of us who seek it, we have to have a menu. And the menu, we know the power of the menu. For you, without a menu, fuck, you won't know what the fuck to order. And if you don't know what to order, how the hell are you gonna fucking go anywhere? Pimping on the menu. That's what we used to say. Pimping on the menu. Pimping on the menu. Ice cream game is a continuous flow and useless. Excuse me. And unless you're in the know, you will not know where to go. And as long as where you go, your game will highly or brightly shine. Then you can join the ranks, of mine. People like me. I'm saying you gotta go get it. I'm starting to get feedback on. Now you guys know I even went a new direction with Sidewalk University, or I'm going in a new direction at Sidewalk University. And I'm starting to get feedback. Good feedback. I shouldn't even make these reports because I've been accused of paying people to support my course as they do. When I do these videos and people call me in and say whatever they say, plus, nigga, you be paying them niggas. Look. Man, if I had enough money to pay all the motherfuckers that called me telling me my shit is good, I wouldn't need to do no videos. I'll already be rolling like I'm on the road. I shouldn't have to do half the shit I do. But I do it because I'm serious about what I need to do. The average motherfucker cannot believe it works as well as it does. I'm talking about my course. I cannot help it. People take a chance on my course and realize something special. They all realize they cannot determine the vessel their help will arrive in. You might want to get it doing whatever the hell you choose to do, but it ain't coming in that. It's coming the way it's coming, and we don't know how that is. But if you're sharp, you're going to see it. And when I came along with my course, all them motherfuckers seen this is it. Why do you think they buy it? With me being, me. I ain't kissing your ass to sell you shit. I'm not explaining nothing to you. Of course I'm going to explain something, but what I mean is I'm not going to be, no, man, it's like, trying to make a sale. I don't do the hard sale. You either want my shit or you don't. And hurry up and tell me which one it is. Them motherfuckers thank me from the bottom of their hearts. And just as I thought, my shit is worth 1,000 times what I charge. But I just chalk it up the game, man. I ain't trying to, break nobody. My new and improved methods is just bomb. They just bomb. Just as you, I pay attention and learn. I incorporated all the feedback I received to improve my course and implemented it in the new version or the new way I'm teaching. And you are the recipient of that effort. My course always was what I claimed it to be. It's the key to you escaping from that prison of insecurity you live in. But now, it even shows you how to build a bulletproof vest to wear in public when you interact. Don't waste any more of your motherfucking time wondering if you should fade me on this. Get your money together and let's roll. There's no sense in you continuing to doubt something you're witnessing. to be a success, I don't know why you still have doubt. The fear you have of me beating you is unfounded. So you really need to just give me my props and buy my chords. Fuck if you like how I am. Unless you fucking have a few more years that you want to spend hoping, something changes. You need to join in and enjoy some of this damn good feeling of being confident, of doing and being what and who you really want to be. It's right there. It's yours for the taking. You motherfuckers just want everything given to you. You're so weak that even when it's there for you to take, you won't even take it. Why? Because the motherfucker ain't getting it to you. Let me ask you something. Who has the most relationship problems? Gay or straight couples? That really was a question that I used to think. Straight couples, because dudes are fucked up and blah, blah, blah. We beat a bitch up, blah, blah, blah. Man, since my daughter is fucking gay as fuck, and she lived behind me, I get to hear the bullshit. And they be going at it. And I don't live in a gay community, but 3 doors down from me is a gay couple. Dudes. You ought to hear them argue. Them motherfuckers. I don't know if you ever called a woman a cunt, but you finna have problems you call a woman a cunt. It's the same with them gay motherfuckers. If you call it, well, look like these two dudes, they can't call each other a bitch. Man, when one of them call the other one a bitch, it's a fist fight. So I'm saying, something should be up. Why do people be gay? Because they have a problem with the opposite sex. Okay, if that's the reason. But if that's the reason, how the fuck do you have the same fucking problems? Hold on. I'm saying, well, I don't really know what I'm saying because, I can't tell my daughter shit. I ain't gonna try to tell her shit either. It's just that I just wonder because them motherfucking gay couples fight like cats and dogs. Because one of them is too domineering, one of them is this, and it's always the one that's not, in a gay man's relationship, one of them is the bitch. And the one that's the bitch is always the one that's fucking up. And then the gay women's relationship, the one that's the man is the one that's always fucking up. So something should be going on in your head about that. But if it's not, it's not. I always knew, gay or straight, if you were insecure bastard, you're gonna have a bad relationship. But I must admit, there's nothing funnier than listening in on some gay dudes' arguments. The roof is always on fire when one of them motherfuckers call the other one a bitch or something reflecting what you would call them. I don't know. It's almost like calling a woman a cunt, I'm telling you. But the fight is always off the chains. What is life stupid? Life stupid means something. If a race of people participates in a systematic elimination of their race and turn a blind eye to it, this is life stupid. Now, if a race of people accepts what they eat is unhealthy, and at one time this very race was the strongest race ever, but they went for their food was unhealthy and they stopped eating that food. Now they've accepted their oppressor's diet. And their oppressor's diet is healthy. And they don't see that their diet was why they were so fucking strong. Well, and they don't see their diet, the other man's diet, was why they were so weak. Now that's life stupid. I know you're going to find many reasons to contradict what I'm saying and possibly make me sound stupid. But let me ask one question. How did an enslaved race of people only eat this unhealthy food and rise to be one of the one race no one can outdo? Our intellect, our physical ability, our actual appearance, our agility, our aging. How can all these things develop over many years? I'm talking about thousands of years. How can it develop to be better than theirs? And I'm saying, once we realize we're better in every fucking thing, we so stupid we start believing these Peckerwoods trying to tell us how to eat. Have you ever heard of any survey where black people were not the worst? Any survey, I don't care. High blood pressure, diabetes, anything. Black people's the worst. Poverty, being spousal abuse, drug abuse, AIDS. I don't care, anything. COVID. I don't give a fuck what you study. If it's about a survey, a survey, niggas is the worst. Niggas is the most obese. I mean, what I'm saying is, it's because they took our strength by making us think everything about us is unhealthy. They took our fucking strength by making us think we were unhealthy. And we bought it lock, stock, and barrel. So they no longer think we are the stronger race. They made the tables even. Why is it that white people have all their hillbilly, redneck, country, heavy metal, and damn near other varieties of music, and we don't have any anymore? We used to have soul music, but we don't have that no more because there's no soul music. We used to have the blues, but we don't have the blues anymore because real blues singers have to have the blues, and people think their blues is just life now. Why? Because we got Peckerwoods winning all the awards in blues. What is our music? Is it spiritual music? I will admit, today, the church is the only place that we can go and hear a soul singer sing with soul and not be faking it. All the things we have surrendered to the motherfucking Peckerwood in the name of progress is stupidity in its highest form. Things have changed so much in today's world is just unimaginable. When we was kids, white boys were victimized. I will admit that by some of us black kids. Now, what we were doing was truly bullying. Today, what they call bullying is anything that can hurt a person's feelings or make a person think in a certain manner. I mean, this is so much bullshit. This is why these kids are fucking suicidal. It's just pathetic. Those white boys we used to push around never committed suicide. And if they did, it wasn't because of the bullying that he was experiencing. They used to cry and they used to feel alienated because of the goddamn treatment that we used to put on their ass. But them motherfuckers was at least strong in the sense, sure of their feelings. I mean, sure their feelings were hurt, but that was all. Their parents complained and complained and complained to the extent the laws changed. And over the past few decades, we have all accepted that acting like scary ass white people is the way to be. So instead of teaching our children how to stand up to ridicule, we teach them to fucking be weak and subject to commit suicide. Some of our parents shouldn't have married. You're the result. Big head, funny eyes, whatever. So what if you have a big head that is extremely tall and fat? Blame your goddamn parents. Kids will be kids, and some of us are cruel. But our parents back in the day prepared us for that shit. If I had cock eyes, my mama would tell my mother, this boy, when you take your butt to school, you better be ready for them people to be talking about your ass. I'd rather the motherfucker scream the shit out at me to my face than to be whispering things behind my back, making me wondering what the fuck they saying. My mama wouldn't cuss like me, but she would tell us that shit. You want to hear what they saying as opposed to trying to guess. That's what make the motherfuckers commit suicide. It's not what the kids are doing to them. It's what they think about what the kids are doing. We black people had to take that kind of shit from white people, and then we were as weak as them peckerwoods, or our race would have died off. So instead of giving up, they decided to let black people get exposed to education in a higher level of success. And voila. Like you said, if we do that, them motherfuckers will understand how we think. And do you know what our stupid ass race has done? We've accepted that the blues is sponsored by white people. We've accepted that Justin Bieber and Justin Timberlake are the next soul singers. We've accepted that those white ass boxers are talented. We've allowed rap to be dominated by white people. And all for what? So we can commit suicide if somebody says they don't like your goddamn music. Just like them Peckerwoods used to do. This is serious shit. If any of you motherfuckers ever heard a real soul singer, tell me Justin Timberlake sings with soul. He may sing with feelings, but he does not have an ounce of soul in him. So how could he sing with soul? Soul is a feeling that you get from your environment of inequity that you have to live in. We need to wake up. Book smart and life stupid is where we are as a race at this point in the game. I'm realizing I'm longing for yesterday more and more. I have a few dudes at Sidewalk University who spend a lot of money trying to find answers to the age-old questions. The main one of the motherfuckers is how do I, whatever come after that. If you're fortunate enough to know any one of the motherfucking men who have taken my courses, ask them, do they have to ask those kind of questions anymore? Ask them if they do not have the answers to any question that used to drive them nuts. I'm telling you, ask them. My approach is so simple, it's mind-boggling. But the real beauty of it is it will not cost you an arm and a leg, and more importantly, it fucking works. I cannot give you the names of any other fucking men who's taken my shit or taken me up on what I'm talking about. But keep an eye on my status and all that shit, and you'll see. People compliment me daily on all the benefits they get from my confidence course. And I ain't talking about squares, just squares. I'm talking about fly motherfuckers too. Now, Tony Reed, what are you saying? 100, okay. Hold on. Black Pearl, okay. Goddamn, people going for anything. That's why being a man over everything is important. Thanks, Roosevelt, for keeping your mind working on that. Hey, Eddie Montenegro. That's what's up. Absalom. Peace to the chat, whatever, man. Shout out to Bud. Mind control. Irvin Mack. Change is good, Irvin Mack. Yeah. Facts. Programming. Obesity. Jesus Christ, man, you guys are something else. The fuck are you guys talking about? Just commenting on what I'm talking about, I'm pretty sure. COVID, right. Right. God, at least you fuckers is really agreeing with me. People are confused if they're of their roles. They have the same problems because of confusion. Hey, look, you guys. Evidently, you was rolling with me, and I like that. But since, I can't take no calls, I don't really like just talking. So I'm going to go on and get on. And I'm going to do another video tomorrow. Maybe tonight. I don't know. I'm going to do another one tomorrow for sure. Maybe I'll do another one tonight. But I want to hear, calls. I need calls, fellas. Let this shit roll. Because that's what it needs to do. I'm gone.